Right there. On the bottom corner of that seat. Covered in grease. Wrote with that one.
Maybe it's from the corn dog. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are moving the 4Runner from this bay back to its original home on that side. We finished up the E46 BMW and now it's time. It's the new year. It's time to get after it with the Baja 4Runner. Hopefully by the end of the day today, we'll be quite a few steps closer to getting that done. So let's get to it. Let's get this thing moved.
Welcome back to the channel where
Welcome back.
do occasionally solve problems.
You know what? We've lived up to our name, NateDrives. I do drive. We've showcased that. Now we're going back to extremely difficult, complicated projects that we are very that we are unequipped to do with our skill sets and very well equipped to do with our tools. Don't try to act like you know big words. Just stop, okay? You're not fooling anyone. So the issue that we have is that we're trying to sort out where to put the intercooler on this thing. The intercooler is going to be kind of a tough task, to be honest. What an intercooler is it cools the air down before it gets into the intake manifold. So the air coming out of the turbo is hot because the exhaust gases are spinning up the turbo, and then the air is being sucked in and it gets all heated up, and we want to cool it down as much as possible. So the air runs out of the turbo into the intercooler, which has to sit in the front because we need a lot of airflow, and then it has to make its way back up here into the intake manifold and then into the motor. But we want to cool it down. So the idea is that we place an intercooler here and we somehow route piping around this massive radiator that somebody purchased. Amazing radiator. PWR does amazing things. However, this one takes up a lot more real estate than we had originally thought. So
I've been racking my mind for the last 3 days about how much room do I have in this location. That is a nice path that goes around. Stays nice and out of the way of everything. Short paths, easy end tank intercooler. Can be tall, a little wide, or not tall, short, wide, dense, and then just. If we say that is our max width, which is a safe one, and we do have plenty of room under the hood. I mean, we could set the hood on roughly right now.
basically what I'm seeing here is we need to do an entire tube front.
Target, 38.5.
Get this straight again.
The 90 would be 50, sorry, 51.5. Okay, never down.
That's fine. We're still off. Okay, we need to go out. Right. I think we're, oh, no, right there. I think that's good. Is it touching at all?
It's real close, yeah.
Okay, alright, so hold that.
Cobra chicken, top 3 scariest animal.
Today we are moving the 4Runner from this bay back to its original home. Alright, so we're hooked up, so pull out, let's get some tension on this. Okay.
You're gonna have to go straight and then cut it so I can drag you out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to drag me out, and then it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how see where we get.
think.
All right, we're back at it. 4Runner's back in its rightful home. Tanner, ready to smash it out? Oh, pal, ready to get started on finishing this thing up for the 500th time. It's back in its rightful spot. This is like the focus.
What happened right here?
The wayward son is back in its rightful place.
Time to finish up some stuff inside the engine bay here, and then we're gonna make the transmission and throw it in and start fabbing up some transmission mounts and all the other fun stuff. All right, well, something's come to our attention that's not very safe, and we might need safety. So all this stuff in here, not very safe. Vacuum, very safe.
Very, very safe.
Vacuum man.
Okay, it's clean.
The sequential shifter doesn't sit down flush here, and I was planning on putting it on a box. So that gets us close to where we need to be. But that's not gonna work. So I've got to sit it flush here so that the bottom of this can protrude out into the tunnel here, and I can put the linkage on the sequential, and so I can put the linkage on the sequential, and then it'll sit flush or flat, and so I don't have this crazy angle. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to clean up the transmission tunnel, and all of this stuff creates some sort of bracing so that it doesn't flex. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this out of here without losing all of this rigidity. So I think I'm gonna take cutoff wheel and just carefully go around the outside of this, take this plate out, drill the spot welds, and then that should give me a nice flat place here to be able to set that sequential shifter, and then we'll have to figure out something for the hydro. We got this plate cut out for the transmission tunnel. Looks like Tanner knows what he's doing. He got this all nice and flush on all the sides here, plenty of room to weld. And we are going to mock up and make sure we have room for the e-brake before I get this thing welded in, but looks like it's coming together pretty quick. Bob Coverman. Check out my spec. My binoculars.
So we're waiting on it.
My new hat. Leg armor.
This is going to attach to the fuel rail when our other fitting gets here tomorrow.
So this piece goes onto the fuel rail?
Well, this will mount to the fitting that we're going to put on the fuel rail.
Okay.
This will be on the K-toes.
This guy right here? That's like, no, this is the part, that's the cool part.
Yeah, I need to flip it.
Cool part. But this is the cool part. This right here, what does it do, Tanner?
It's called the dry brake.
It's called a dry brake. We're using these fittings so that we can disconnect the fuel system without having any leakage across the engine bay, right? So basically, you just...
Yep. And it makes it to where by hand we can drop the lines to pull the motor out.
Yeah, so long story short, you can disconnect the fuel lines without dumping fuel anywhere, so makes it a lot easier to pull the engine out.
We'll do that with the clutch and the brakes too.
But we should theoretically never have to pull the engine out, right? So this goes together, fluid flows through it, we pull it apart, no fluid comes out. Cool fittings.
What about your other quick connect fittings you got over there? The one on the throttle body that you installed earlier.
Come on over, let me show you what I installed. This is a Plasma Man Wiggins clamp. Cool thing about these clamps is they are kind of like silicone connectors without the silicone. So there's two metal pieces. One gets welded to the charge pipe, this piece here.
Oh, were you doing an explanation?
Between you and Steve, it's hard to get like any takes around here, to be honest. So this is a Plasma Man Wiggins clamp. Let me tell you about the difference between this and the standard type connections. So usually you'll see like a silicone coupler come up and connect into the throttle body. This is two pieces and they're both O-ring. Quite well, I might add. Cover right here slides over the two O-rings. So in here, kind of tough to get off, so I won't do that. But in here there's an O-ring, and then on this piece, over here on the throttle body, this piece here is also O-ringed. So this connection is going to be a lot stronger than a silicone connection, and it's not going to blow off or have any issues like tear or anything like that. We wanted to have the strongest connection possible. Now I am using silicone down the line. Pretty cool. This just pops onto the O-ring, and then the clamp goes over the top and clamps it into place. Then once that's on there, this can't move because it's holding those two collars and keeping them together. All I need to do is weld this to the charge pipe, and we're good to go. All right, guys, next time we're gonna be installing the intercooler. We're gonna work on the exhaust and the wastegate. We've got a lot coming up. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on a thing. We'll see you next time.